Hey everybody, what's going on? So, this is going to be one of the more difficult videos for me to make. It's going to be kind of a rough one because what happened this past weekend is just very shocking, and I'm still processing it. In short, I lost a good friend, my friend Andrew, who's a dear friend as well as a coworker of mine. He was killed this past weekend while racing at Willow Springs Raceway down in Southern California. And it's a big shock. It's pretty devastating. You never expect that to happen to someone you know, especially someone like Andrew, who was, in every respect, a great driver, a great person, just totally unexpected. And so I'm kind of just in a shambles, really. It's just not something that you want to hear. And of course, I was in complete denial when I first heard the news. Those of you who watch the channel may have seen some of the more recent videos where Andrew was a part of the channel. He raced alongside me with his supercharged BRZ. We were at the racetrack together. We were at Thunder Hill most recently, and then he actually decided to sell his race car. He decided to sell the BRZ on Bring a Trailer, and so I offered to help him by making a video about his car to sort of help him talk about the features and the modifications and everything that had been done to the car, and just kind of let him kind of speak about it and just, put together a nice video, a nice package that we could post alongside that auction on Bring a Trailer, and just kind of make it very clear and easy for potential buyers who were interested in that BRZ, in that race car, to be able to just have confidence in knowing what they were getting, just representing everything about the car and explaining every detail that we could think of. And, I think it was appreciated. I think a lot of the commenters and people who were paying close attention and watching that auction and the potential buyers were appreciative of that video, which was, a collaboration between Andrew and I. Together we looked at the car, we filmed the car, and he did a voiceover just talking about the car in as much detail as he could. And, just another example of the kind of collaboration that he and I did, because we work together. We work in the same office. We're on the same team, and I just loved working with him. He's a fantastic guy. It was actually a lot of fun, so I didn't mind doing it at all. I guess I'm grateful that we had a chance to do that together, and all of you got a chance to see a little bit of him on the channel. And we had, big plans to do more content together in the future, because he was so excited about the next step in his racing ambitions, which was, exactly why he wanted to sell that BRZ, was to make room for and free up the money for his next race car, which was the Rush SR, which, if you watched the track video from last December, the 86 Drive Challenge season finale video that we did. We went to Thunder Hill. It was the last event of the year, and we did a track day together. We were actually in competition against one another in the unlimited class for the 86 Drive Challenge. As I mentioned in that video, actually the last of the 86 Drive Challenge series events, because now this year in 2024, that series has been renamed, simplified to 86 Challenge. But for that last event, it was an 86 Drive Challenge race event, and I was, of course, honored and pleased to have been in competition against Andrew in that class, in the unlimited class. Both of our cars are similarly built in terms of modifications. His is a little bit better built. I think the person who bought his car got a fantastic deal from that auction. But in any event, our cars are somewhat comparable. And so with all of the modifications that they have, we both belonged in the unlimited class. Now, of course, Andrew was a far better driver than I am. And so he, of course, kicked my butt, was multiple seconds faster than me out there on the racetrack. And so he took first place and I took second. And that was enough points for me to clinch a spot on the podium, as I mentioned in that video. So, fantastic result, and we were all happy with how things went. So fast forward to, this year, and Andrew managed to sell his race car, the BRZ, and also placed the order for his next car, the Rush SR. And at the end of that Thunder Hill video, I did have a bonus section where I actually showed the Rush SR race car, the one that Andrew was planning to buy or order one of these race cars for himself. And so what I was actually filming that day was his first opportunity really to check out the Rush SR race car in person. And he actually got a chance to climb into it, fire it up, and drive it around a little bit to get a sense of the car and, sort of finalize his decision about whether or not he wanted to get one of these cars. And the objective being that, he wanted to get more into the wheel-to-wheel racing, the competitive racing in a spec car. He also got the chance to rent one of those Rush SRs at a competitive event. I think it was in Arizona. And so he actually traveled out to Arizona and, did the sort of rent-a-racer day experience, driving that Rush SR on the racetrack and in an actual race, which I think he came away from that experience just convinced and certain that he wanted to get himself one of those race cars. And so that's what he did. He placed the order, and earlier this year, at the beginning of March, he took delivery of his race car, and he was just super excited about that. And he was showing me pictures of his new car. He was showing everybody pictures of his new car, and we were all excited for him. He was planning to enter his first race in his new car down in Willow Springs, this past weekend. And so, we were all excited for that, and no one was more excited about it than he was, of course. Yeah, it's at this point where things take a tragic turn, because apparently he was racing on Saturday and something happened. I don't even know for sure exactly what happened. Based on what I know, what others have told me, that there was some sort of incident on the track, and Andrew crashed, and unfortunately he didn't survive it. I just don't know for sure what really happened. I don't know that anybody really knows, or if they do, they're not necessarily going to publicly share the details of that, and I understand that, out of respect to Andrew's family, to his wife, to all of his loved ones. I totally understand that we may never know for sure what happened, but the most tragic part of it, right, which is that Andrew is gone. We've lost a great friend and a colleague, and a great human being, in essence. I could go on and on about how wonderful he was, what a kind, caring, considerate person he was, how bright and talented he was working as an attorney at my company. It was just a pleasure every day to come to work with him and to share the same space as him, to be able to talk to him, make jokes, talk about the kinds of problems that we faced at work, but also as a person, talking about everyday stuff, talking about the things that we both loved, like racing. He was a huge Formula One fan, and he would talk about racing, he would talk about cars, he'd talk about his racing plans, for his race car and track days and the competition, everything that he loved. I'm still in disbelief that he's gone. I wish I could rewind time, in essence, and bring him back. If that was possible, but the reality is he's gone, and he's left this big hole in our hearts, and we have to find a way to move on. So yeah, his funeral is next week. His wife, as you might imagine, is completely devastated. And that's in part the worst aspect of this, right? Is that, it's absolutely crushing and heartbreaking to think of what his wife must be going through right now. And there's just no words for it. I'm struggling myself to deal with it, so you can only imagine how hard it is for her. I don't know that Jamie, his wife, will ever see this video. This is really, a pretty small viewership, and something that just is for my viewers and for maybe just my own edification. But, I hope that Jamie knows, well, I know that Jamie knows how much he loved her. He was so devoted to her. Yeah, just such a wonderful life that they had together. And it's just so damn tragic that was torn apart this past weekend. And so, my heart really goes out to Jamie for this, really kind of unspeakable tragedy that has taken place. So, my condolences to you, Jamie. My love of motorsports and driving and cars and racing, competition, all of that kind of stuff. That was something that Andrew and I had in common, and so we spent a lot of time talking about that passion together, in his office, at my office, walking in the hallways, talking after work, sending each other texts, chats, and photos, and, collaborating like we did on some of these videos. So, yeah, we had that in common, and I think that helped forge a solid bond between us, and for that I'm grateful. He was a genuinely good friend, a wonderful person, and I'm gonna miss him. Yeah. I think the world is a poorer place without him now. Yeah, I don't know what comes next. In fact, I think I'm going to be taking a break for a little while at least. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to put out the next video. I'm always working on some kind of content. I do have a few videos that were in the pipeline, but at this point I just don't know if I will be able to finish those right away. I think I need to take a little bit of time off, and so yeah, you might not hear from me for a little bit while I'm just kind of dealing with this loss, but I hope to be back soon. I think I just need a little bit of time off to to properly mourn the loss of a friend, and in light of what happened, I don't know if I can go back to the racetrack right away. I think I need to take a break from that as well. So we'll see. Hopefully you all understand that, and hopefully I'll be back in one form or another soon. So thank you for understanding, and I hope you all remain well. Hug your loved ones, enjoy the time that you have with those that you enjoy spending time with, and be kind to others. So I guess that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you all again soon. Take care.